In the dark, a tiny status light keeps pulsing, steady, indifferent, while the room sleeps. That image sits at the heart of this chapter. The network doesn't blink, even when you do. Once, human loops paused at night and on holidays. Now the system hums through cables and servers without needing breath. Here's the knife-edge question. What happens to creatures built for rhythm and rest when they tie their lives to something that never stops? You feel it already, in your nerves, in your focus, in how hard it is to look away. Tonight, we'll follow that pulsing light and ask what it's doing to your attention, your privacy, and your power. Apply it now. Notice one machine around you that remains awake when you're asleep. Yuval Noah Harari writes about information networks, the webs that bind people, documents, and now computers across history. His aim is not gadget worship, but clarity about how networks create human cooperation and control. The book offers a long view, so we can make better choices in the short view, especially as computers join the network as active participants. Apply it now. Remind yourself that technology is a political design, not a fate. Within that arc, this chapter lands like a cold splash. Machines don't share our limits. Earlier chapters looked at stories, paper, and human decision loops. Here, we meet a network whose default is on, whose tempo outpaces human bodies, customs, and safeguards. Its relevance today is obvious. So much of your day, work, money, news, even friendship depends on a grid that never sleeps. Apply it now. Ask which part of your daily routine only exists because the network is always available. The core message is simple and unsettling. An always-on network changes how power, attention, and memory work, and humans are not biologically tuned for its pace. If you don't design pauses, the network will erase them for you, and then decide in your absence. Apply it now. Schedule one hard stop in your day before the network schedules you. First idea. Always on collapses natural pauses, and pauses are where judgment grows. Human systems once had latency. The letter took days, the office closed, the file cabinet locked. Pauses created room for second thoughts, cooling off, moral reflection. In an always-on loop, inputs stream continuously and responses chase them on reflex. You felt this. The message arrives at midnight and your body treats it like an alarm. The chapter's point isn't nostalgia, it's design. Remove pauses, remove a human safety mechanism. Apply it now. Put a deliberate buffer between input and reply. One breath, one sentence typed but not sent, one lap around the room. Second idea. Default recording becomes default surveillance. Older networks forgot by accident. The paper was lost, the witness moved away. Digital networks remember by design. Logs, backups, metadata, the micro trails of location and clicks. The network writes everything down because writing is cheap and retrieval is profitable. That doesn't require malice. It's structural. What can be captured will be captured, and what is captured can be recombined in ways you didn't anticipate. Yesterday's harmless search becomes today's profile, tomorrow's prediction. Apply it now. Before you post or tap, ask, if this were permanent and sortable, would I still do it? Third idea. The network's wakefulness creates asymmetric power for those who watch while you sleep. When one side can observe continuously and the other must blink, advantage compounds. A platform can A/B test through the night and greet you with the more persuasive version at dawn. A government can fuse databases and spot patterns no person could see in real time. Even without conspiracies, the simple geometry of nonstop vision concentrates leverage. The chapter isn't saying panic, it's saying notice the asymmetry. If you cannot be always on, you must be strategic about when you are on and what you expose when you are off. Apply it now. Choose one arena, news, shopping, messages, and limit when, where, and how you can be nudged there. Fourth idea. The network's pace can overwhelm the mind's error correction. Humans learn by noticing mistakes, cooling off, and updating beliefs. But if 10 new signals arrive before you've processed the last one, you stop updating and start reacting. The chapter pairs nicely with the next one, which shows the network is often wrong. Here, the emphasis is rhythm. Speed without slack turns discernment into exhaustion. And exhausted people don't just make random choices, they accept defaults. Apply it now. Decide your defaults while calm, what you allow, what you block, what you'll ignore, and let those settings carry you when you're tired. Sixth idea. Opting out individually is insufficient. The network is also a civic design problem. If essential services only function through nonstop monitoring, then consent is a mirage. If public discourse flows through channels optimized for constant engagement, then attention becomes a commons that can be depleted. The chapter invites a grown-up stance, neither doom nor denial, but collective rules that reintroduce pauses, limit capture, and demand accountability from those who profit from always-on architectures. Apply it now. Support one concrete boundary, device settings, workplace norms, or policies that protect recovery time and data dignity. Let's gather the thread. A network that never sleeps can be a marvel. Coordination at scale, help on demand, knowledge at your fingertips. It can also be a trap when its wakefulness sets your tempo, extracts your attention, and records more than you meant to share. Pauses are not inefficiencies, they are human safeguards. Memory is not neutral, it's power. And privacy is not secrecy, it's the ability to grow without constant observation. If you remember only one thing, let it be the image we started with, the little light that keeps pulsing while you rest. Design your life so that light serves you, not the other way around. Apply it now. Tonight, choose one boundary that lets you meet the morning on your terms. So here's the invitation. In a world that never blinks, choose where you will. Leave me one comment answering this. Where will you add a deliberate pause in your day? 5 quiet minutes before news, a mealtime without screens, a weekly hour for deep thinking. Then, while the image of that pulsing light is fresh, tap the video on the right about why fast networks often get things wrong and how to build filters that keep your judgment intact. Share this with one person who is always on, and do it today before the network fills the space you just opened.